Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. So really big stuff happening this week. Fantastic Four is premiering and there's new Deadpool footage, Red Band footage. So they just aired a crossover clip, like a Fantastic Four featurette with Deadpool attached to it. So I'm gonna play that, then I'm gonna break down Ultimate Fantastic Four and explain what the movie is doing. Then I'll explain how Fox is planning on crossing over all of its characters in the future. Yes, it's true. Fox is working up towards a shared type of universe you see with the Marvel movies, but they're not quite there yet. I'll explain how that'll work after the clip, so here we go.
When I grow up, I want to be the first person to teleport himself.
Even if you could build it,
I've already built it.
is it next to your flying car?
I'm not working on that anymore.
Dr. Storm, we gave you 6 years and millions of dollars, and you gave us nothing. What's different now?
Reed Richards. He knows answers to questions we don't even know to ask yet.
Don't let any of these lab coats give you any crap, all right?
Well, if I do, I know who to call. The muscle.
I wanted to create a place where we could learn more about our planet, maybe even save it. Meet my daughter, Sue.
I gotta say, it's fun having you here.
Really?
No.
My son, Johnny.
Reed.
He can build anything.
What you've created here is incredible.
You guys sure you're in the best shape to be doing this?
Yeah. We're good.
Sometimes you're looking to discover one thing and you find something else.
4 have survived.
In the aftermath, these survivors all exhibit unique physical conditions. These 4 are going to change the world.
You promised me you wouldn't use my kids as weapons.
Because of our abilities, you locked the 4 of us away. But we're not the ones you should fear.
Oh my God.
You don't know anything about what's coming.
What is coming?
Doom.
This is the end of your world, and the beginning of mine.
But wait, there's more.
It's me, Deadpool, with a special offer. See Fan 4 in theaters this Friday, and I'll throw in my Deadpool trailer for free. For an erection lasting longer than 4 hours, pat yourself on the back.
So in case you didn't see my last Fantastic Four video, it's been a little while. This movie is based on the Ultimate Fantastic Four canon, which is different from the Marvel 616 characters. Marvel's 616 universe is like the main universe. If you've been reading the comics, they've been doing Secret Wars, so that's all changed, but for the most part, think of this as being based on Ultimate Fantastic Four, even though that no longer exists in the comics. What happened is that Brian Michael Bendis, when he created the Ultimate Universe, like he created Ultimate Spider-Man, rewrote his origin story, did the same thing for Ultimate Fantastic Four. So a lot of the dynamics between the characters is the same, but their origin story is a little bit different. It's a little bit more sci-fi than fantasy. Fantastic Four has always been like a science-based team. I mean, Reed Richards is like one of the smartest scientists on the planet, but a lot of their Stan Lee origin story is tied up in really fantastical things. Ultimate Fantastic Four just tried to bring that closer to straight-up sci-fi. So that influenced the whole look of the film. Like it's just a little bit darker, a lot more sci-fi. So Dr. Doom, for instance, probably not going to be using magic in the film. In the comics, the difference is that, Dr. Doom has like 1 foot in the realm of magic, 1 foot in the realm of science. The actor that plays Doom in this movie, Toby Kebbell, actually said that a long time ago, there was a lot of rumors about the film about his origin story being completely different from the comics, him being some kind of computer hacker. He's since said that that's not true. Like, his origin story is still the same. They don't directly address Doom's backstory in the movie. They don't have time to get to it, but it's still the same. His mother was still a gypsy. He's still from Latveria. None of that has been changed. The big difference, and this is all part of the Ultimate Fantastic Four comics, is the way they get their powers, like how they come together. The way they weave in some of the really familiar locations of the Fantastic Four universe, like the Baxter Building. So as different as this movie seems, like I know it seems like it's a dramatic departure from the Fantastic Four, it's actually based on the comics, just not a comic that a lot of people have read. Way more people have read like the main Fantastic Four storyline than Ultimate Fantastic Four. The underlying MacGuffin of the story is the End Zone, at least in the Ultimate Fantastic Four comics. Reed Richards is trying to develop a teleporter, but unbeknownst to him, Dr. Doom messes with it, and it sends him to this alternate dimension called the End Zone. Now this is where I think the movie is going to depart from the Ultimate Fantastic Four comics. There's like a big villain associated with the End Zone. It gets really crazy. I think the movie's going to play down that aspect, and Dr. Doom will just be the main villain. The movie will just tone down some of the more ridiculous elements of the comic. But it's that first teleportation accident that gives them their powers. It's like the stand-in for solar radiation in the Stan Lee origin story. So however you feel about the origin story in this movie, you could really have Brian Michael Bendis and Mark Millar to thank. The other really noticeable change too is Dr. Storm. He's kind of like the lead scientist at the Baxter Building, which is like this military-funded institute that he's created, kind of like a version of Professor Xavier's School for the Gifted. Like he brings all the smartest minds together to try and create new technology. But as the clip says, he's been unsuccessful until he finds Reed Richards and brings him in. So that's like when the team starts to come together. One of the other small changes too is that in the Ultimate comics, they also run into the Inhumans. Because Fox doesn't have the film rights to them, we're not going to see Inhumans in the movie. But it's really not to the end of that initial Ultimates run that they become the official Fantastic Four team. So even though we see them in the costumes in the trailer, I'm not expecting to see a lot of like the Fantastic Four trappings, a lot of the traditional trappings, till the end of the film. As of Secret Wars, there is no standalone Fantastic Four comic, so most of those characters are going to appear in and around Secret Wars and the tie-ins. Eventually, they'll start a new Fantastic Four comic, but it's probably just going to be a little while. If you haven't been reading the comics lately, Marvel is in the process of rebooting every single comic book that it has. It's going down right now in Secret Wars, so if you're not reading Secret Wars, you should check it out. It's really crazy and awesome. You can find it on Comixology. Okay, so I know everyone's asking, where does this Fantastic Four movie fit in Fox's universe of Marvel characters? Because it looks like they're trying to head to a shared universe, especially since they attached this Deadpool clip to the trailer. As it stands right now, there are a bunch of X-Men characters inside the Deadpool movie. Deadpool is an official spin-off of X-Men Apocalypse, so they're kind of already there on a low level. Fantastic Four is a little bit different in that they're trying to reinvigorate the franchise, so I think once they find a formula that they really like, once they find something that's really successful, then they'll try and integrate it in a bigger way. Because really everybody wants to get to a situation where we see something on screen that looks a little bit like Secret Wars, where characters from all kinds of different titles can interact with each other. Because some of the most interesting stories with like X-Men characters are big crossover events. And it's a little trickier to do that just based on the way that they've done movies in the past. Even on the Marvel side of things with the Avengers franchise, it took them several years of very successful movies before they could do Avengers, but that was always the long-term plan. So in Fox's grand scheme of things, in their long-term plan, yes, they will do X-Men crossover franchises. A good example of that is like the Starjammers, like that would be their version of Guardians of the Galaxy, like a space-based movie with a really weird group of characters. And eventually, I do think we'll see a Fox-Marvel crossover. Not for a long time, but they could totally do War of Kings. That involves a lot of Shi'ar characters and a lot of Guardians of the Galaxy-based characters right now. I really think that Deadpool is the connective tissue for Fox at this point. Because his core operating mission is to go around and kill different characters, it's a lot easier for him to logically jump around from group to group to group. So he could be given a mission to kill one of the X-Men. He appears in an X-Men movie. He could be given a mission to kill Mr. Fantastic, so he shows up in their movie. The quicksand to all that's slowing everything down is just, like the backroom deals that need to be made to get actors to appear in all these different movies. It's one thing to sign an actor to a single franchise, but when you want to use them in a bunch of other movies, it just gets way more complicated. That being said, the Fantastic Four cast, Ryan Reynolds, the cast of the X-Men movies, they're all really nice people, so they all want to see crossovers too. So what's going to happen tonight is they're going to air the Red Band trailer on Conan. That'll be in like 2 or 3 hours, depending on what time I post this video at. I'll do a video right after, so just keep your eyes peeled on my Twitter and Facebook for updates on that. What I'm going to do for Fantastic Four, I'll be seeing it Thursday night, so I'll do a non-spoiler review, then I'll do like an Easter egg video like I do for all my other comic book movies after that. So there'll be 2 different videos for that, so you'll know like which one's non-spoilery if you're not going to be seeing the movie right away. If you have an IMAX theater nearby or like a 70mm theater, go see it at one of those. They'll be playing the Deadpool trailer in front of that, so you'll be able to see it in like nice, big, shiny format. The videos that I make are intended to be watched on like, really small phones, but movies like Deadpool, Fantastic Four, they're meant to be seen on like giant big screens, so it's so much more fun when you go to see it at a theater. Because they just dropped a DC TV bomb, they just announced who's going to be playing Vandal Savage and who's going to be playing Hawkman on Legends of Tomorrow. I mean he'll be on Arrow and The Flash too, but I'm going to do a separate video for that should post tomorrow morning. So it's actually a really exciting week, despite the fact that it is like the most boring part of the summer. So while you guys wait for all that stuff to post, you can click here for the Deadpool teaser video, and you can click here to learn all about his origin story in the comics. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let's high five. I'll see you guys tonight.